What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Jason Makes Posters. Today I'm going to be creating a Swiss design poster based on one of the movies in my collection. Let's figure out what that movie is. Alright, going to run my movies through this randomizer here. Let's unhide this ad. Beauty and the Beast. Alright, let me go grab it. Alright, so Beauty and the Beast is definitely one of my favorite animated Disney films. It may even be number 2, second only to Lady and the Tramp. It's a great movie and one that I've never worked with before. So it'll be interesting to approach this movie from the perspective of Swiss design. Alright, let's go ahead and jump into Illustrator. Alright, so I have a few things dropped here in my Illustrator document. So I've got this color palette and this minimalist rose, and then also this Swiss design poster, which I want to use for inspiration as far as the composition. So let me go ahead and create our color swatches here. Okay, so I don't have to use every single one of these colors, but I do want to use most of them. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and trace over this rose here. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this over here. I'll leave the path version over here on this side. I'm going to go ahead and grip everything together, just in case I need to come back to it for any reason. Alright, so then I'm going to go over here and expand this, and then I'll just kind of cut off this little area right here. I don't need that. I'll cut this with the divide tool. Now I'm going to lock everything else down, and you'll see why I'm doing that in a second. So I'm going to grab everything that is this yellow color right here, go up to select, same fill color, and then go to select and inverse, and delete everything. So that will delete everything that's inside of these little lines right here. And also just notice this. Let's move this little guy over here. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so now we can grab this and we can hit unite, and it's not going to fill anything in. Okay, so I didn't want to steal directly from this particular image's background here, but Belle's dress is just so iconic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this rose and we'll color drop with this red. And I'm going to make this rose nice and large. And we'll just kind of rotate it like this. And I'm going to reset my bounding box. And we're going to go down to this area right here, probably just a little bit off the page, and then scale up. And we can go a little bit outside of the frame here. So I'm going to copy this background over here, and then what we're going to do is we're going to contain this rose inside of this box, change the color of the rose back to red, and then bring the background back. So we'll get our typography on here, and I'm going to use a font that I haven't used in a while. It's Forma DJR Banner. This is actually an Adobe font, and I really like it a lot. So I think I'll just go with the blue right here. This is already looking very Disney-esque. However, because of the colors, it's almost looking like a Bauhaus design. Alright, so I'll set our kerning over here to optical, set our size to 120, and then we'll do our leading at around 110. And then I'll go in here and manually kern. And then I just got to figure out exactly where I'm going to place this. I mean, we could place it here, but we could also place it right here. And I actually do like both placements. I think I'll align this to the right instead, and then we'll push it all the way to the side and bring it in by 2 inches. And then we'll do the tagline here, be our guest. And that'll be half the size of our main type. And I think I like the placement right there. And then I'll get our cast members' names added. Okay, so we had those 5 cast members' names at the top, so I just wanted to add the next 5 in, just so we could have a nice balance there at the bottom. And then because of David Ogden Stiers here, we need to space these out a little bit more than I originally planned. I think 1 inch is good, and what we'll do is we'll go down here to the bottom. I'm going to group this together just temporarily, and we'll go -2 inches in on both sides. And I wasn't planning on it, but I like how this is kind of following the slant of the rose here, so I may actually play around with that. Alright, I really like how that looks actually, so I'm going to pull this into Photoshop and add in some final effects. Okay, so I have this pulled into Photoshop, and this section right here is blue because I actually had an idea and I want to see if it works. Originally, I had the idea of maybe doing like some stained glass imagery or something like that, but I just think it would be a little bit too busy for this particular poster. However, you can still use imagery in Swiss design and it'll still work just fine. So I really like this a lot. I think what I might do is add a layer of grain to the whole thing and then maybe some paper texture. Alright, so I have this fresh parchment paper here, and I'm a major sucker for anything that's yellow that has a paper overlay on it. So when you're cycling through these blending modes, you want to make sure that you're going through all of them and see how it affects all of the colors from light to dark. And from everything that I've seen, I think that multiply is going to be the best for this. And then we'll add an extra layer of grain on top. Since we enlarged that H paper, we've actually got some pixelation going on there, so the grain will help to cover that up. We'll probably do a grain level of 50 and a size of roughness of around 25. And since this takes place in the 1700s, I'm definitely going to add a vignette to it. All right, so there she is. This definitely looks like a Disney-fied version of a Swiss design poster. Looking at this, I definitely could have gone back in and added the director's name, but that's fine. I actually really like it like this. That paper texture, the grain, and also the vignette is really adding a lot to it. And you easily could take this a couple of steps further and add some images into those other blank spots. But I think it works just fine like this. All right, well, thanks a lot for watching me make that poster. That was fun. If you liked this video, please hit like and subscribe and click the bell for notifications to be notified of all future content. Thanks a lot for watching and for subscribing, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.